Starfleet Underground. Every week, we'll take a look at the latest Star Trek news and then check out a current or classic episode of Star Trek. This week, it's an unexpected Borg Cube. Hey, is there something in your eye? Oh, did somebody say seatbelts? And we're looking for comments. Are you guys sure? You know about comments from the internet, right? Anyway, go to starfleetunderground.com and hit the Contact Us button.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Starfleet Underground. It is the podcast where our shields are always down 23%, being brought to you by Section 31. Why they do what they do, we may have an idea now because they had kidnapped Fred and they just brought him back, almost moments before we just got started. So this is going to be awesome. My name is Nathan Adams, and I'm here with our regular crew. So good morning, Heather.
Hello, good morning. I'm Heather. I'm the science officer. And Fred, we need to talk about your tribbles again. Just saying. Those little ankle biters.
Yeah, I guess you have to get in line, Heather. Section 31 wanted to have a chat about that last week, too.
Oh, no.
Seems like they're getting tired of all these tribbles popping up everywhere. All I can say, it's a good thing that Picard and company weren't visiting K7 because there might still be a tribble or two roaming around there, even after all these many years.
Well, welcome back, man. We missed you for 2 weeks. They kept you on that away mission.
Yeah, well, duty calls sometimes, unfortunately, but I'm back.
Ooh, yeah. I bet you're full of all sorts of good information. Okay, details. I want classified information.
Well, it started out, I was just sitting here innocently, processing all the wonderful data. No pun intended.
Oh.
And then suddenly, Section 31 just transported me away and...
Censored by Section 31.
Really?
So
that's what they had you do?
Whoa.
Yes. That's amazing, isn't it?
Oh, wow.
Jeez.
That's an incredible story.
I mean, what the hell? You won't be even to show anybody that medal. Wow.
Nobody's going to believe you, man. Nobody.
I know, but maybe someday. Never know. The truth will come out.
Well, at least now we know where you got your tribble foot keychain.
That's for sure.
An interesting tale, for sure.
And now, last but definitely not least, Rocky.
Hello. I'm just, running engineering over here and hanging out with the Pop-Tarts and, minding my own business.
Wait, you got Pop-Tarts? You fixed the replicator to have Pop-Tarts?
Well, doesn't all the replicators do Pop-Tarts?
No, why aren't you sharing with us?
I can get that copy, the code. I'll get the copy to you guys. Everybody's going to have Pop-Tarts.
Oh, this is going to be fun.
Wow.
God, I could have that with coffee.
How about some Snap, Crackle, and Pop?
Thank you.
Problem with the Snap Crackle is actually the pop, because the pop, if you got too much pop, it's not enough Snap and Crackle,
Well, that must explain why we have audio issues from time to time. Now, we're going to segue into news of the week, headlines. Anybody hear any interesting headlines?
Yes, I do have headlines. My vacation was canceled. I was going to go down to Florida Beach and go have a vacation, but unfortunately I'm not allowed to visit Earth at the moment. My captain says that there's no travel to Earth, and I'm a little upset about that.
Nope, it's for your safety. So
I know.
It's done. Sorry.
Well, hey, did you hear about the live breaking news that just came out just moments ago?
What?
The Borg invasion of Earth has been canceled.
What? I was all ready for that.
On account of the latest viral issue that's circulating around
the globe. I had retuned all the phasers to rotating frequencies. I was ready. Oh my God, that is so annoying.
Who would have thought it?
I guess even Borg have standards, believe it or not.
They didn't want the virus either. Virus and computer opponents don't mix.
That's true.
Well, that was a bonus side effect. So, how about you there, Rocky? You hear anything out there on the waves?
Oh, I don't have any really super happy news, although I do have a supply of toilet paper for the ship, so we're okay on that.
Yes. Yes.
Got it covered. And if you want the bidet installed, we have those too. We just got to put them in.
Cool.
Nice.
Well, starships, the perception may be that they run on dilithium, but yeah, that TP, it's these little things that actually keep a ship running.
Well, the bidets are completely usable as long as the gravity's working. If the gravity's not working, things get a little bit interesting.
Yeah, that's not good.
Yeah.
Now, we're going to be talking about the latest Picard episode. Oh, my goodness. Did you guys? I know you guys saw it, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
It was friggin' and I just got a lot to say on the thing, that's for sure. Hello?
You're still here?
Yeah.
Oh,
you're
okay.
here.
Heather muted her microphone and the entire background noise went away.
Oh, I have background noise. I turned off my air conditioner.
It just picks up every sound in your room.
Shit.
I told you, when you use that Android, as much as you use it, the cooling fans kick off on it real loud. So you got to be careful with that.
I'm trying to imagine exactly what you mean when Heather's using an Android. And the fans keep coming on. I'm
talking about her.
Things are getting hot and heavy.
Yeah.
Wow.
I'm talking about her old style phone. Oh my God, you guys got a dirty mind. What the frig? Oh my God.
Just try and, you put one thing in front of the other and then logically it puts a picture in my head. I'm sorry.
All I'm saying is you guys are lucky this came up after I did your evals already. So, thank goodness. But let's talk about the episode here. There's so much stuff that happened on this one.
Oh, for sure.
It was so much more cerebral than the rest of them, I think, so far.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of it being cerebral, for starters, you had to brush up on your Latin a little bit with the title, too, right?
That just goes over my head.
So what is it in Latin, then?
Et in Arcadia ego.
Yeah.
I looked it up, and it's a Latin phrase that roughly means I am there also in paradise. And evidently it refers to the I guess refers to death being also there in paradise. I guess Arcadia was a kind of like a nice paradise type area in northern Greece, if I remember correctly. So I'm not sure. I'm not sure exactly where they're going with that.
Yeah, my brain still hurts. It didn't help.
Yeah. So basically what you said was death is in paradise. So does that mean Picard, since he's in paradise, he's death?
Or paradise comes because of death.
Yeah.
Or death comes to paradise. The Romulan ships coming to the planet.
It all goes so many different ways.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's so many ways part two could play out. I don't know. It's hard to say.
Well, with the look on everyone's face when this thing started off, it did look like paradise. You got Picard. You see the look on his face was kind of like anxious expectation. You had Rios chomping on his cigar, kind of amused look. Ralphie with a smile on her. And then you also had Agnes, terrified. She was literally shitless.
Agnes is not a good flight companion when you go places.
No.
She will grab your arm and indent 5 fingers right into it.
Be over.
Just a little turbulence and she's under the table. My goodness.
This was a great example of the different types of people who go on roller coasters or those magic motion machines. You got the ones who are like, oh my God, be over. And then you have the one having fun. You have the one focused,
Soji almost raised her arms up and yelled, wee!
Yeah.
The look on her face was like, I'm with her. That looked like a fun ride.
Seriously. It was really, really cool. I mean, I guess going that fast, 25 light years in 15 seconds. Damn.
Yeah, I'd be Agnes. I'd be Agnes under the couch being like, oh my God, be over. Why aren't you over?
Well, especially for someone that essentially on their first interstellar trip too, right? I mean, this is her first off-world trip, and now she's on this really super bumpy ride. I'm sure it was
she needed the barf bag. She needed the barf bag.
Yeah.
Hey, there was one thing I really liked, though. We actually saw seatbelts on Rios' ship.
What? I missed it.
Where was it? Was that in because I didn't remember seeing it when I watched it the second time, but I remember distinctly seeing seatbelts when I saw it the first time. Where did I see the seatbelts?
It wasn't during the initial trip through that Trans-warp Conduit. It was during the subsequent battle scene when Narek's ship showed up.
Oh, and the flowers start to come up?
Well, it was before the flowers. It was when Narek's ship came through and they were going to essentially like red alert. And
I must have been typing notes in my iPad at the time because I missed it the second time. I'm like, seatbelts, they heard us screaming about seatbelts. They've all got freaking seatbelts. Now they put them on. I was like, why all of a sudden now they put them on?
Well, that kind of makes sense in a way because you got a ship that's not designed for combat, which is a freighter. And that means the inertial dampeners probably can't compensate adequately or fast enough for the amount of forces that it puts on, whipping that thing back and forth. So,
what, going through the wormhole?
No, when they came out to fight Narek's ship, they went after them.
Oh.
And he's a weaselly little fucker. I don't like him.
Yes, he is.
But that was pretty cool.
Yeah.
I have a feeling that Rios has probably, kind of souped up his ship a little bit.
Oh yeah,
he's hot rodded that sucker.
I'm sure it's more than what the average freighter could do.
Totally.
Seriously, he probably made the Kessler run in even a better time.
Well, I hope so. I mean, would normal freighter ships be able to go through a wormhole?
Yeah, but coming out of it, you can go in, but coming out of it's the hard part.
Yeah, you want to come out of it in one piece.
At least, yeah.
Yes.
And talk about, out of the blue, the Borg Cube showing up.
That's unexpected.
Like,
yeah.
Hell?
Right?
That was awesome.
Yeah, that was.
And then that giant space flower comes and snatches it up. And I'm like, oh, honey, that Borg Cube is way too big for you.
There was like 4 or 5 of them on that sucker. And it was still just the flower power doesn't work on the Borg.
I kept hearing in my mind the song by the Picture Yourself on a rocky, Lucy in the Sky with Diamonds. It's like, man, can you imagine if you were like high and you see that? It's like, what the freak is those flowers attacking us?
Well, that way you really want to take it to the next level. You've got the regular Beatles version, then you do Shatner's version.
Nathan, Soong didn't just invent butterflies on the planet. He also invented some marijuana and psychedelics as well. That's where the flowers came from.
You must have had some good snake plant.
Yep, that's where the flowers came from.
I bet they got a real good supply of snake leaf.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, I wouldn't write off the Borg Cube totally. I have a suspicion we'll see it rise again next week.
It's just a fender bender. That sucker's going to be fine. It'll just regenerate. It just always does, right?
Well, they have external batteries. She just needs to hook up the nanos or whatever. It says fix it.
I don't know. I think I'm going to have to disagree with you guys because didn't they land in sand and sand gets everywhere? And if you get sand in electronics, it's a little bit of a bitch.
But what is electronics created from? Sand.
But it's hardened sand. It's like glass.
But nanopros can make it work. I'm telling you, the Borg's going to be fine.
Nerd fight.
Hey, what about Brent Spiner returning? I mean, I was kind of suspecting he might come back as Data, maybe in another dream sequence, or maybe in a flashback or memory, or I was even thinking maybe lore. But yeah, I wasn't expecting another Dr. Soong, so that was surprising.
The other Dr. Soong.
Yeah,
they kept him under wraps, so that was pretty good.
That was pretty cool. Now, just to clarify, this is Soong's son. So Soong had a son, and this is son. Yeah. But he's, older and looks just like his father, and therefore looks just like Data.
Well, yeah, I thought that was kind of cute to have Data be designed to look like his son. That's like, wow, that's like deep, man. That's
No, he actually kind of designed Data to look like himself.
Well,
Yeah,
I mean,
that's
there's
what
a
I
family
thought.
resemblance, obviously. You know,
So the guy's definitely egotistical. That's for damn
it
sure.
runs in the family. It runs in the family, I'm sure.
It's like, I look marvelous, so therefore my family will look marvelous.
Yeah.
Did you catch a little inside joke he had when he introduced himself to Picard? He tells Picard that yes, my appearance must be how did he put it? Like must be shocking or surprising. I probably look like how Data might if.
I bet he gets it all the time.
Older.
You look just like that guy that was that android.
Yeah, I must look like Data, just a little older and maybe a little softer. Yeah.
Maybe better sense of timing comically. Yeah, that's
We also get a chance to see the first time Picard's brain disease when his mind kind of locked up on the ship.
Thanks for coming, everybody.
Yeah.
Wow. That was like, if you've ever been around somebody that's been like legit out of it and they just say something weird like that, he nailed that aspect of that because he's just like, thanks for coming, everybody. Just out of nowhere, he says, thanks for coming. I'm like, whoa.
Yeah.
And so the impact of it, especially when Angie found when she used the old style scanner and he told everybody, that was a real like somber moment Ralphie didn't even know. But the look on her face.
Yeah, that was one of the themes in this episode. I think it's a smaller theme because the big theme is about whether or not you kill or for the right reasons. Can you logically kill or who's killing who for the right reason? But the side effect of all that is aging and once you hit a certain point and at some point you're not going to be there anymore.
Nope.
It really messes with you when you start to think about it. But I really liked the way Picard just came right out and told the rest of the crew, hey, this is what's going on. And I don't want to hear about it anymore.
Well, he didn't come right out and told the crew. Yeah. I mean, it wasn't the first thing he said. He's like, oh, we're going to go down. We're going to explore. And by the way, I'm dying.
Yeah, by the way, my head might explode. It's okay. Don't worry about it. And don't bring it up. You might piss me off.
You wouldn't like me when I'm angry, yeah?
And then we see Ralphie. She like hands Soji a gun. But we never see the gun again. So I wonder if that's going to make an appearance next show.
That's a good catch.
Remember, she says, like, in case something is out there, she hands Soji. And I never saw anybody take the gun away from Soji, even though Soji almost looks like a lost cause right now. So,
yeah, she might use the gun for the wrong reason.
Yeah. So we got to see what's going to happen. Hey, Fred, what did you think about, since you've been away and now we know some of the backstory on why Section 31 had you on that artifact over there when they recognized Locutis and you saw Elnor and just the child-filled exuberance when you saw Picard, you just can't help but to love the kid,
Yeah.
Oh, for sure. I wonder if maybe Picard's past as Locutis, whether that's going to come back next week. I don't know. Maybe he somehow has to embrace that aspect or maybe come to peace with it to move on.
It's a constant reminder because every time he ends up with this Borg Cube, there's just that one dude that always, hey, Locutis, what's up, dude? It's that one dude I hate it when he calls me that. I mean, that's pretty much the reaction Picard's having is like, that guy again, God darn it. Yeah, it's always a constant reminder that he was Locutis and the Borg are still playing a very big part in his life.
I wonder if they're going to save him or help save him, because of that thing in his mind is just, they can't let him go.
Well, I had a little moment of possible clarity or maybe more murkiness, depending on how you look at it. But I'm watching the beginning of the regular show open. And first of all, I'm still blown away and amazed at how good the music is. I love the music so much, the theme song. So it's just completely woven its way into my heart. The first time you heard it was like, oh, that's kind of nice. The second time you heard it, it's like, yeah, this is pretty good. And I've been loving it every time since. But you watch, you're looking at something synthetic coming together. And then at the end of the thing, it comes in and it's part of his cheek. Is Picard going to be part something synthetic by the end of this thing?
Yep.
Just wondering about that.
So. And I think that's a long-term giveaway because it does look like you have an eye being constructed and everything else. So that's...
Well, also, too, they were talking about the golem and mind transfer.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So would that be something? Picard's dying. They have a golem, mind transfer.
We can rebuild him. We have the technology.
Seriously.
So if Oscar Goldman makes an appearance next week, we'll know what's up.
There you go.
Now, there's one phrase that they said in the show which impacted me really good. I know, Rocky, you catch these phrases, so I'm sure you probably observed it, is that when he was saying goodbye to Seven, and it's like, I may never see you again. This is true whenever somebody says goodbye. That just blew me away. It just a realization that, every time you say goodbye to somebody, there's always a chance you may never see them again.
Yeah.
You know, if you have lost somebody recently, you know, you're in a moment where you're really deeply affected by that. But if you stand back and realize that literally every time you say goodbye to somebody, you may never see them again. It really, really, you know, messes with your head if you let it get to there. Mm-hmm. But I mean, that's when you're talking to the Romulan warrior elf Elnor. He's all about that emotion and showing it 100%. So that's why when we just love his reactions, because it's always so pure to that character. He's always 100% what he's experiencing. When he hugs you, he means it.
Well, another point that kind of caught my eye a little bit was when Picard is talking to Seven, and Seven tells him, keep saving the galaxy, and he tells her, well, that's going to be up to you now. And
can I just say 2 words? 7 spinoff.
Oh, I would love that.
I'm telling you, the Rangers got to get their own show here, and 7's going to be number 1.
She looks so badass. She cuts a wonderful, dangerous, sexy silhouette standing there on that cube.
I'm telling you, she is not bad looking whatsoever. I can watch that woman on the screen any day, any night, any age.
And with that cube, perhaps fully functional, it would make a great Rangers base too.
Mobile base.
Yeah, it would.
Yeah. It's got potential.
I'm telling you, I think it could happen.
I wonder how many twins Heather, how many twins they answered that's called the casting call for this show.
All the twins in LA. There sure was a lot.
There were.
So the impression that I got was the gold twins were the first version, and then the realistic twins were the second version. Is that correct?
Yeah, it sounds like it, from what they were saying, that as he went on, they perfected better and better.
Well, I'm just wondering if they're just out there getting a really amazing tan all the time, because they're just out there playing in the sun, bouncing balls around, running, playing chess, and doing all the things that synthetics would do on their own planet.
Yeah, that is a paradise.
I'm just wondering about their fashion sense. Do you guys think this is the kind of clothing you would wear on a planet like this?
Personally, I'd probably be walking around nude because if the weather's done, it makes no sense. Less laundry.
Exactly. That's the one less thing that just let's be logical about this. We don't need to wear laundry because we're androids, right? So let's just get rid of the clothing part of it all. And as long as you don't get sunburns in the wrong place, you should be fine.
Yeah.
Do androids get sunburns?
Well, I think their color is the gold, reflects the sunlight in a certain way, That's my thinking.
I love gold.
Yeah, but even as an android, even if per se you don't need clothing could still be used as a fashion statement.
Yeah.
And it can, it definitely make sometimes clothing is sexier than a naked person, Sometimes when they're wearing the right clothing, it's like, hey, that looks really good on you.
This is true. Yeah, it does make a good fashion statement. You can put ornaments and things like that there. And to help, I guess, differentiate yourself from your twin.
True. Yeah.
So I think that was cool.
What about those green eyes?
That was weird.
Those are like super green eyes. I'm trying to figure that out because Data had green eyes, but they didn't feel that green. It really was weird. A weird look for that. Which one was she?
You mean the one from Sutra?
Sutra. Yeah. Was it Sutra or was it the other? Either green eyes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Was it Sutra was the one that did the mind meld?
Yeah, well, she did the mind meld too. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So, but did you know they did a little bit of Logan's Run in it when they went up and said, "Can I touch your face?" It was like, dude, there's a virus. Don't touch the face.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, no, don't touch the line. Don't touch the line. She's tracing the line. It's like
the wrinkles.
I hope that doesn't bother him, because it's like pointing out the wrinkles. Does that bother him? That wasn't my first thing to think. It's like, oh, let's go check out trace your lines you got there, buddy.
Now I want to create a meme where it has two pictures, one on the top, one on the bottom. One is where Sutra's going to go touch her face, and the other's with Rio running to her yelling, "No, wait, stop the coronavirus. Don't touch your face.
Don't touch the face."
That would be cool. I bet you we'll see that all over the place now once we get this up on the air.
Yeah.
And how about that mind melding? An android that can mind meld. That was like, I was not expecting that.
No, so that means it's something you can learn, not something you're born with.
Yeah, she studied it.
Mm-hmm. So anyone could.
Well, Data, after all, learned to do the Vulcan neck pinch. Remember in that two-parter that Spock appeared in?
I haven't gotten to the second part yet. Gosh darn it. Yeah. I'm still on my rewatch. Oh, man, this has spoiled it for me.
Is the mind meld like an advanced massage technique then?
Well,
I could have said something about advanced massage technique, but I was going to keep that to myself.
I didn't mean that, but okay.
Yeah. And most often I probably do keep it to myself. But
once again, things you could have said before your review. And what about this beyond time and space? Is these things like the same people who made V'ger?
Yeah, that was my first thing. It's like they've got to be related to V'ger, if not directly, like really adjacently close to V'ger, because machines that were perfect in their thinking and logic, that was the thing that Spock got in the motion picture.
Yeah.
So, but he didn't get like an anti-organics thing. They just didn't understand it. So maybe they're starting to understand it in the wrong way, because if we look at let's say a virus of some kind, our first inclination is to sterilize. And that's like the natural machine reaction to us is you must be sterilized. If you go back to the original series with Nomad was a freak about sterilizing everything, but probably because of its original programming was a cleaning bot or something like that. I can't remember.
Nah, he probably just read a 2020 article or something.
Exactly. Oh my God. Yeah, that's what it was.
Sterilize everything.
Sure, but if you go back to Nomad, I mean it was originally intended to, I think, explore other worlds, and
it was very similar to V'ger.
Yeah, take samples and I think sterilize the samples.
Yeah, and its programming got jumbled, and then
exactly.
And then it becomes a freak sterilized bot.
If it was imperfect. Anything that it found that wasn't perfect, it would kill, but it couldn't do that to the creator.
Okay, and then the perfect word right there. Perfection.
Perfection.
That was a word that was used in that crazy little message from the mind meld. Perfection, right?
Now here's a potential curveball. I mean, the Romulans interpreted the admonition one way. Sutra is interpreting it another way. What if the reality is some third way? and maybe when they call whoever's going to come.
Well, that's just it. There's more than one interpretation to this problem. And if you look at it your way and say, I've got the answer and everything else is wrong, and they're looking at it from their point of view and say, no, this is the answer. Your way is wrong. And you really need to have that aspect of human thought to jump beyond logic and say, well, wait, there might be another solution here, guys. Don't kill everyone. Don't kill everyone. Gosh.
Yeah. What does God need with a spaceship?
What does God need with a starship?
Yeah, I have a feeling both sides are going to be surprised. I have a feeling they're going to be successful in calling whoever this synthetic or the old time synthetics. They'll be able to call them. They'll arrive. I have a feeling they'll shock both the Romulans and the synthetics.
My interpretation of that whole thing was when the organics saw the admonition, it was going too fast for their mind. So all they saw were clips, bits, and pieces, which is why they sort of went crazy. Whereas when Sutra watched it, she had a computer mind, and she was able to slow it down and gather all of the necessary information to make a complete message. And that's what happened. And my interpretation is there's no more interpretations than that. You just had like the fast version and the slow version, and she was able to see the slow version with all of the details.
That actually sounds right on target on that.
She got all of the resolution in the message. So she saw the big picture, but she doesn't know how to understand it. That's what I'm worried about. She was able to
pause.
Yeah.
Yeah, she put on subtitles.
Yeah, but she doesn't quite comprehend what we're saying. I'm pretty sure the message doesn't just say, go destroy all life forms. I'm pretty sure they didn't get that. And I'm pretty sure it also said, watch out for the synthetics. They're going to destroy all life forms. I'm pretty sure somebody's missed a comma someplace, and the message is not quite all there yet. But we shall see, right?
The universal translator wasn't working.
Something.
I think it's the difference between seeing a 2 or 3 sentence summary of what a movie's about versus watching the movie.
Interesting. Interesting.
Yeah, because sometimes those little brief summaries are very misleading. Let's put it that way.
Well, I love the ones that come up on the program guide and it's somebody's actual review and it actually says how many stars they felt the movie was. And they really gave it a horrible review. And I'm like, why is it on this description for the movie? Because this was a classic, silly goofball movie that I love. What is up with that? And so they just, grabbed it from a database that had reviews instead of actual descriptions. It just, I don't know if you guys ever seen that. That really bugged the heck out of me when, you're flipping through the program guide and it does that.
Now, what'd you guys think about that other synthetic that got killed? What was her name again? Saga, was it?
Saga.
Yeah, Saga.
Yeah.
You could say the eyes got that one. The worst way to die in Star Trek Picard has to do with your eyeball.
I was going to say one of the writers really likes that method of death.
They have an eye problem, obviously.
Yeah, I couldn't tell.
Some serious eyesight issues.
Yeah, I mean to take her hummingbird.
But I'm curious who actually killed her, because on the one hand, it could have been Narek, because he was watching her and that pin she was wearing.
Sutra pulled some voodoo stuff right there. That was disturbing to me because Narek had something going with her, and it was really quick and really right away, and I can't figure out why. We can't figure out why Soji was doing him, but I can't figure out why she did that to him. And then,
Yeah, I'm wondering whether, Narek killed her, or maybe I'm almost thinking maybe Sutra did, as a kind of like sacrificing one person to maybe rally everyone else against the organics.
Yeah, I think that you hit the target right there on that, Fred, because when she looked at Narek, she did want to kill him, but she saw him as a tool. And in the beginning of it, she had sent what's her name?
Saga.
She had sent Saga away. She goes, I got him, go away. And so for her to come back, that tells me that Sutra had to call her back.
Yeah.
And then she turned around and stabbed her in the eye. And she told him, Eric, run, get out of here.
Yeah, maybe. It was so, I bet we see another version of that scene next week.
Yeah. And he took off.
I think it'll get spelled out a little bit more because they left it a little bit ambiguous right there. Ambiguous. Yeah. And
you saw where he was running to. He was running towards the Borg Cube. So let's see what type of a greeting he's going to get when he gets over to 7. Mm-hmm. But she wanted to use him as a piece. She wanted to turn around and go, see, humans are bad. They just killed her. And Soong just acted just like his dad. People are bad. My androids are perfect.
What about the scene with Soji and Narek real quick? I had a almost Star Wars moment right here because he said, I love you. And she said, I know. What a sad and twisted thing you are. She burned the fuck out of him with that. But I was having Star Wars, oh my God. And then she just zing. I'm like, oh my God, they did that. That was so cool.
Yeah, when that happened, I screamed at my TV. It's like, you're full of shit. Then why did you try to kill him when you came out of the conduit?
Yeah.
Yeah, crazy. Yeah. It's all crazy.
What you were saying, Heather? I'm sorry.
Oh, I was going to say she sure did get over the fact that she was an android really fast. Like, she accepted that really fast.
Well, they have quick working minds. They calculate a lot quicker than we do. So maybe that just happened quicker than you think.
She processed it. It's like, okay, binary. I'm an android. Okay, good. But it looks like when Sutra was doing what she was saying to everybody, not all of the androids looked like they were on board, wanted to kill all the organics.
Well, and Picard was making that speech.
And
Picard was making a classic
eloquent.
Picard speech, and they were falling right for it. And friggin' Soong says, "Hey guys, hold on a second. Starfleet didn't listen to this guy. You got to pay attention to me because they're crazy. This guy, he's going to lead you the wrong way." And then she's like, over here, look at us. No, we're androids. We're going to take over.
And how the hell did he know that, though? How the hell did they were supposed to be on a planet locked away somewhere? That's the thing about the Soongs.
I think there was only one really good Soong, and that was the original one. I think everything else in their family is not so good. The mad scientist side of things, they're mad for a reason. And maybe that's what happened with Lore. Maybe he had got because if Data was modeled to look one way, and that was because Lore came first. So, but anyway, so there's a thing about the Soongian stuff that it doesn't always work right.
Yeah, I was thinking about Star Trek Enterprise a little bit in the 4th season when Brent Spiner played Dr. Soong's ancestor. Mm-hmm. And remember how protective that Dr. Soong was of the augments. Mm-hmm. And I was kind of seeing a similar protectiveness with the synthetics that he's developed.
It's the mad scientist thing. And I think he has his own motivations because they've got that golem sitting there cooking up.
Agenda.
Yeah. He's got a thing going on, but I bet he doesn't get to be the one that gets to be put into that. That mind transfer stuff.
Yeah, because I think he probably started developing the golem maybe for himself to allow himself to continue to exist longer. But you may be right, though. He may end up not being the one that gets to use it. It could potentially be Picard.
Did you notice when they were all talking and Sutra said all organics are a threat and Picard was like, all of them? Soon their creator is organic. So what does that mean? Does that mean they're going to turn against him as well?
I bet they trust him to a point and he doesn't realize it. He'll be going one direction. I'll be like, oh no, you're organic. Go bye.
It'll be interesting.
We do have a touching moment, which I thought it made me watch the moment again because it was so touching. And again, credit to Michelle. What a phenomenal actor she is when basically Raffi and Picard fix their relationship. And she goes up and she goes, "I know this isn't what you like." And she hugs him. And then she goes like, "I love you."
Yeah.
And it's like, you don't have to say it back. And Picard looks like befuddled. He's like, "I don't."
I love that he did, though.
Yeah. And it really, that's to me was like a huge, huge step because there was so much problems they had. And it's like for her to come across, she's this capable woman. I mean, I'd love to have her on the crew. No effect, no insult to you, Fred, or you, Rocky. But damn, she's so capable. She works on Borg Cube. She's her mind is a steel trap. And then you see kind of like the little girl in her just got approval from her dad saying, "You did great, daughter.
Yeah,
nice job." It was awesome.
Yeah, you got me going. Aw,
I know.
Golly gee.
It really, really was. But there is, I think Soji, even though she's all about her brothers and sisters, I think she's going to actually do something to save it because of the talk that they had about taking life to save life.
I hope I agree with you too. I hope she's going to think one way and at some point she's going to realize, no, this isn't the right way. And I hope she fixes something. I feel that's at this point in the story, that's really the only reason she's there because all the other androids, they're going to go do their thing and follow Sutra on. Yeah, I think Soji's going to be, because she was literally thinking it out and realizing, and maybe realizing the wrong. She goes, because you see her take that path down the wrong path of logic. And Picard started to realize it and was like, oh, wait a second. So I think she's going to turn around. I don't think she's 100% yet. I think she's going to do a flip and save the day.
I think Agnes is going to do something as well, because when she says she's willing to die for her children, but
that was a big one right there too.
Yeah. It's like, and what format die for her children is to free them from what's going on, to do the right thing, whatever it is, it's in her mind. She feels it's the right thing that she's got planned. She's got something planned. So we're going to see what's going to happen with that. I mean, this was such a good setup for next week. and they had a little after show. Didn't show any spoilers, but there's a spoiler online about it for the finale, and you see a more of an in-depth conversation that happens between her and between Soji and him.
Picard.
So Picard. Yeah, so it's going to be really interesting. Sorry, I did not have enough coffee. I apologize.
We will accept a coffee sponsorship if you're out there. Just saying. It doesn't have to cost that much. Just a couple extra cups.
It's out there somewhere in that nebula, right?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah,
that's true. It is. There's coffee in that nebula.
Yeah, actually, no. I went to one of the nebulas when you guys were asleep, and I did the organic scoop thinking it would be coffee. Friggin' tastes like cotton candy. I mean, oh my God. Cotton candy. And it was. I need the good stuff.
You need the unleaded.
The leaded.
Leaded version, yes.
So you say that coffee wasn't sweet?
It was too sweet. It was like cotton candy. Oh my God, I didn't like that. It was so sweet that the EMH came on. It was a medical emergency, and my blood sugars were highly elevated.
It sounds like my experience with almond milk. Oh. How do you milk an almond, for crying out loud? I probably should Google it, but I don't want to know,
No, don't.
You should just eat the almond.
Because it'll come back as nut juice.
Yeah.
You don't want to realize you're drinking nut juice. Because
imagine it's an acquired taste.
I tell you should stop tinkering with your food replicator.
Pop-Tarts is where I draw the line.
Well, I can't wait to have someone to do the readjusting on it. But this episode to set up, it's hard to believe we're right up against the wall for the last episode.
I know it seems like there's a lot to be covered next week, and
I doubt they're going to wrap it up. I bet they're going to have plenty of loose ends, so that way they have something to go off of in season 2.
Yeah, it's going to have to, or maybe like the finale. There's this big booming voice that's even larger than the Borg. About we have arrived, or something like that.
It just talks in binary, zeros and ones. We're like, huh? What happened?
Now, refresh my memory. I know before they started airing the season, they announced that Picard was definitely coming back for a second season.
Yep.
But was that decision made or known while they were filming it? Yeah. In other words, when they filmed the last episode, did they know for sure that they were getting renewed or not? So were they able to plan for that?
They decided to renew it even before it aired. So they have a definite arc that they're shooting for, which is a good thing. There's a little message for those listeners out here. Since this next episode coming up is going to be a review of the Star Trek Picard final, our episode following that is going to be a review of all of the Picard, our best, the stuff we loved, the stuff we hated, everything all together. And the other episode, which is following, so 3 episodes down the road, we're going to be featuring your feedback. So if you guys got questions, if you have pointers you want to make, if you have opinions about the show, plus or minus, positive or negative, we want to hear from you. So this way we can go ahead and discuss it. So we'll even mention your name out there so you can have the fun of having Section 31 beamed to your place instead of ours. So maybe they'll grab one of you guys for an away mission instead of taking our triple wrangler.
You know what? If you're part of Section 31, you're invited to comment, and we won't mention your name.
Yes.
No. Yep. We won't. We'll even disguise your voice. How's that? Hey, Rocky, you got any Shirley Temple filters?
I've got some chipmunks. I can do the chipmunks.
That's awesome.
So that will work.
Secret Agent Alvin.
Oh my God, that would be hysterical. So what do you do for Section 31? We'd like to be able to go down to
You know, when you get the voice processor, the first thing you want to do is to pitch it down and go, oh, I am your father. But you flip it up and you start sounding like a Chipmunks, and just hilarity ensues. It's just exactly like if you suck in the helium balloon while you're recording something and your voice, oh gosh, it's so much hilarity over that. That's the only way to go is up.
Now, speaking of hilarity, I'm sure, I know because you were on mission there, Fred, because normally you bring us these gems. There's one going around on the Twitterverse of Johnathan Frakes. On his show, he had 1.5 speed slow.
Oh, yes.
So it sounds like he's talking drunk.
Oh, God, that was so funny.
Oh.
It was hilarious. I mean, that was just what I needed too. That morning, somebody said, "This is going to make you laugh. This is going to be a good thing." And yeah, it totally did. It was so freaking funny. You're like, "Oh, this is going to be kind of cute," but I'm not going to. And then you start watching it, and it keeps going, and it keeps going, and this is hilarious.
Make sure you watch it so you can de-stress from the show. From doing your away mission. Now we're going to circle back over here to Heather. Do you have any love to show? Any promoting any podcasts? Your also about your Venmo channel. Tell people some more about it.
My what channel?
Vimeo. Venmo is how you get paid. Vimeo is how you show videos. It's a slight. It's and it's just the way that the modern generation names things. I don't know what it is with that, but just they come up with these crazy names. Vimeo is like video, but with a M instead of a D. And I can't figure out what the hell Venmo is for, except they pay. So I take the money.
Okay, well, Heather.
Thank you. Very much appreciated. So we were putting our videos on Vimeo. However, that stopped because of this quarantine. So since we don't have any more strikes on YouTube, because YouTube loves giving my channel strikes, we are up, we are working, and we are doing a live stream every day, Monday through Friday. We're going to be doing a tournament. It's going to either be blackjack, it's going to be roulette, 3-card poker, it's going to be something for an hour. And that way people have something to do during this time of quarantine. So YouTube.
Oh, that's really nice.
I highly recommend it. And of course, because we're going to get the podcast out quick enough, you'll be able to catch everything if you download it quick enough and listen to it quickly enough. But so the entire week she's going to be doing live streams. And if you ever have a chance to see her live stream, you can drop little bits and get amazing stories of her Vegas dealer life, or maybe get her in a Starfleet uniform. Or you can make her dance, or at least her attempt at dancing.
I can't dance. And it's basically, they give me a super chat and I embarrass myself.
It's really cool to see her dance. Is like a slow seizure. You got to do it.
I'm so bad.
It's entertaining though. There's no doubt about that.
Well, we are definitely going to continue this until the quarantine ends, and you can find us Vegas Aces. So YouTube Vegas Aces.
I was just going to ask. So, which game do you have coming up next?
I could find out for you real quick. I don't know off the top of my head. I gave Nicole a list, and she's putting it in order. So Monday we are going to be doing.
Well, no worries. I'm sure you've got Quark reviewing and approving it.
Heather has a team. She has a team. You have to remember about this. She's actually got a team, and she doesn't even know what game she's going to be playing. I find that fascinating.
So I got it right here. Monday is 3-card poker. Tuesday is face-up Pai Gow. Wednesday's roulette, which we are going to be doing on a live roulette table at UNLV.
Wow.
Thursday will be blackjack, and Friday will be Ultimate Texas Hold'em.
Well, so if you guys want to learn about any of those things, watch her live, and you get a chance to see what Heather looks like. And I'm sure for those of you that haven't tuned
Section 31 is already watching.
Yes, constantly. So does the voice match the face? Tune in and see. And now, Fred, do you have anything that you want to promote?
I saw this interesting review of the first part of the season finale. TrekNews.net has really good reviews of the various episodes, and I noticed one thing that was a little bit timely and also a little bit humorous. There was a comment about Dr. Soong. And they said that Alton Soong was the master of social distancing.
Interesting. Yeah, he got way out. Just he's surrounded by androids. That's go to a whole other planet and be the only human there.
That's definitely.
That's as far as you can go, I guess.
That's one way to do it. Yeah. I hope he wasn't transmitting without knowing when he went there.
I'm sure the androids are immune from it.
Yeah. How about you there, Rocky? You have anything you want to promote?
Nothing to promote specifically, although I was wondering about getting Spot 2.0. Spot the cat. I want to see what happens when what the hell's his name?
Elnor.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
You caught the Nathan disease.
That's spreading through the cyber waves. Go figure. Elnor might see a cat. I'm very excited about that possibility.
Would be wild.
Yeah.
He gets his pussy.
Yes, finally. He'll be able to touch it.
Kitty.
He can finger his pussy.
We're going to be careful on that, though.
We do have the explicit tag, but still.
Yeah.
Sorry. I'm really mad about that.
Now, there is one that I'm going to promote here. It is the Daily Star Trek News. It is hosted by Alison Pitt. It's a part of the Roddenberry Podcast Network, and it's pretty cool. It puts it up about once a day, and you can go ahead and give that a listen as well. And if you do make a comment, tell them that we here at Starfleet Underground sent you, and somehow get out to us if they have a working Trans-warp Conduit. We'd like to get back.
Any shortcut welcome.
Yes, and bring cats, because it seems like Heather is stuck up on the cats right now.
I have a cat in a box right now. I named him Schrodinger's.
So you don't know if he's there or not until you open the box.
Yeah, but I'm not opening the box.
What could be a catastrophe?
Oh man!
That
was pretty bad.
All right, yeah, I'll admit that.
Then I'll have to lead you with a horrible dad joke. Then, what's heavier, a gallon of water or a gallon of butane?
Water.
Yes, you're correct. Water is heavier because butane is a lighter fluid.
Cool.
I know, that's horrible. Oh, great. Section 31 is here. You wait for doing a bad joke.
That's not good.
No. Okay. I'm going to tell you today.
Our jokes might be why the synthetics want to get rid of the organics.
Bad jokes would be a good reason.
They're sick of listening to us.
It was really, really bad. Well, today's show was brought to you by these wonderful gentlemen standing in my room here at Section 31. Again, we don't understand why they do that. So thank you for listening to us. And remember, just don't have a great week. Make it so.
Starfleet Underground, beaming into a podcast feed near you. Log on to our website at starfleetunderground.com and send your comments and questions to thecollective@starfleetunderground.com. Follow us on Twitter at StarfleetUnderG and on Facebook and Instagram, we're Starfleet Underground.